Hi, Bethlehem, it's Pastor Paul. And as we've gone through the book of Jude and talked about false teachers and false teachings, one of the things that I've encouraged you to do is to get a good study Bible and a good one-volume commentary. Because I think these are two resources, two tools to help you learn how to discern what is true from what is false, to help you to create defenses, for a lack of a better word, against those false teachers, against those false teachings that might come at you. But you may be asking yourself, well, what is a study Bible? What is a one-volume commentary, and how do I use those things? And so I just want to create a quick video here to help us, or to help you understand what these tools are and why they might be beneficial to you. A study Bible is a Bible. It has all the text of Scripture in it. But in addition to the text of Scripture, it's going to have some study notes and other study resources included in it. So it's all in one volume, one place, the text of Scripture and study material located all together. A commentary, a one-volume commentary. Now there are different commentaries. There are commentary sets that would give multi-volumes, right, to the Bible. So like each book of the Bible would have its own commentary, one volume per book. But there are other commentaries that are one volume that cover the entire Bible. Now, of course, they're not going to be as exhaustive as a multi-volume set of commentaries, but they're going to give you a general idea of what the text or what the Scripture is saying. It's going to help you understand the context and the meaning of words, and it's going to give you a general idea. It's going to help you with some of that study material, so you can understand what the Bible is saying. So I want to transition now and just show you a few examples of study Bibles and one-volume commentaries, so you know kind of what they look like and how you would be able to use them in your own Bible reading and your own Bible study.
Okay, now the first one that we're going to look at here is the New Living Translation Illustrated Study Bible. And I am going to open here to the book of Matthew. And so what we see here is this one is full color. So you have the Gospel of Matthew, and then you have this introduction to the book. You have the setting, the summary of what Matthew is about. You also have this little thing here about the genre, or not really the genre, where it fits in the Bible. So the Pentateuch, Israel's history, poetry and wisdom, prophets of Israel. And so Matthew is one of the Gospels, and Acts, it kind of covers the history of the church. So you have that. You have this map of the region, the key places in the Gospel of Matthew. You have meaning and message. Here you have the timeline. Down here, the timeline. And then we have outline for the gospel. You have the authorship, date and location, literary structure, occasion of writing. And then you get into the text of Scripture. So here you have the text of Scripture. And then you have down here your study notes, the explanation of what is being said. If we turn the page here, we have then a little article on the genealogy of Jesus. You have this nice little graph on the genealogy. And so not only do you have the study notes to help you understand what the text says, but you also have these articles that give you further insight into it. Article here about the Pharisees. Who were the Pharisees? So it has a lot of different things, not just study notes, but also study material to help you. And if we go back here, you have even at the start of the New Testament, you have the New Testament, and then you have an introduction on setting background, New Testament history, kind of nice summaries of those, an explanation of the gospel and Acts. And so you can see that it's giving you a lot of study material, not just explanatory notes, but also other material that might help you understand the Bible fuller. So that is the New Living Translation Illustrated Study Bible. Okay, the next study Bible we'll take a look at is the New King James Study Bible. And again, this is a full color edition, so a lot of color photos and illustrations. Not all study Bibles are like that, but these first two are. So the New King James Study Bible, full color edition. So I'm going to open up here with the New Testament. And again, same sort of thing. We have this article here about thinking about the study of the New Testament, geography of the Gospels. So articles to kind of help you get into it. This is a harmony of the Gospels, of the different events recorded in the Gospels and putting them together, kind of giving you somewhat of a timeline of what of the Gospels, of Jesus's life. Right. And then you get into the introduction to Matthew. So same sort of kind of information, author, date, emphasis, purposes, Christ in Scripture. Again, you have a timeline over here, and then just pictures to kind of help you understand what the lay of the land looks like, especially if you've never been to, like me, you haven't ever been to Israel, and so you don't know really what it looks like. So it gives you some pictures there. And then here's the outline. And again, study notes down here, the text of Scripture here. But with this one, it gives you some definitions of Bible words. So Jesus, and then you have the wise men, another map. Here you have another definition of a word for tempted, prophecies of Jesus's birth, the house of Herod. So that's going to help you understand some of the political stuff that's going on in Jesus's time. So that is the New King James full color study Bible. Okay, the last study Bible we'll take a look at is the ESV, the English Standard Version Study Bible. And when this came out in the early 2000s, it's kind of set the standard for what study Bibles could be. And so we'll take a look again. Again, we'll go right there at the beginning of the New Testament. So we have the background, just so you kind of see the similarities kind of going to the same place, and the similarities, the differences between them. So the background to the New Testament, you have kind of an article here about the time between the Testaments. You have a timeline of rulers, Jewish and Roman rulers, kind of gives you an idea of what's going on. A timeline of events that happened in between the Old Testament and the New Testament. So you understand why are there some of the differences between the Old and the New? What happened in between there? Then you have this chart of Herod's dynasty. An article here on the Roman Empire and the Greco-Roman world, which is significant or important because that's the world of the Gospels of Jesus. Jewish groups at the time of the New Testament, so the Sadducees, the Pharisees. And so then you have the New Testament, theology of the New Testament, New Testament timeline, the date of Jesus' crucifixion, reading the Gospel in Acts, and then you have the introduction to Matthew. One of the things with the English Standard Version Study Bible is that its introduction is really comprehensive. It's longer than even what we'll find in the one volume commentary. So you have author and title, date, theme, purpose, occasion, background, history, salvation, and just all this stuff. You have a map, have an outline of the gospel, and then we get into the text. So one of the other things about the English Standard Version is you can see the text of Scripture is one column. So one column text for reading, and then down below you have the study notes. And one of the things that's different with English Standard Study Bible too is the fact that it does not have the articles that within the text here that a lot of other study Bibles have. It's really, once you get into the scripture part of it, it's really text and study notes down below. And as you can see, this is really a whole lot more text-based, where the other two, which were full color and illustrated, had a lot of more pictures and graphs and that type of stuff. So that's another thing to consider as you're looking at, what type of study Bible should I get? So now we'll look at some commentaries. So there are multi-volume commentaries or a commentary set. So like this, and this, since I'm preparing for the Nahum series, this is one of the ones that I have out at the time. And so you can see this one book, it's a fair-sized book. It is covering the books of Jonah, Nahum, Habakkuk, and Zephaniah. So there's all those books, and this is one telling me and helping understand what is going on and the text of Scripture. Now, this one is just one volume. In fact, the interesting thing is that this one volume commentary, the NIV Application Commentary on the Bible, one volume edition, is based on the multi-volume set of these commentaries. And so that's one of the interesting things about this. And as we open it up, again, I'm going to go to the start of the New Testament here, and there's really not a whole lot with this one. There's not a whole lot in it as far as other articles, other things. And in fact, when you look at the introduction to Matthew, you're going to notice that it is shorter than the introduction that the ESV Study Bible. In fact, I think shorter than all three study Bibles had to offer. So you have the introduction here you have the book outline here. So this does not contain the text of scripture in it. So this is meant to supplement scripture. So while the study Bibles have the study notes right below, this just is kind of a book of study notes. So it's going to give you a little bit deeper, more in-depth detail than the study Bible. And I like this one, and this is how this set is set up, is that it's broken up into original meaning. So, verse 1, chapter 1, verse 1, chapter 1, verses 2 through 17, which really covers the genealogy. And then you have application, original meaning. So verses 18 through 21, 22 through 23, 24 through 25, and then application. And I really like that because it helps you understand, what's the original meaning? Now we have to think through how does that apply to our lives? How does that apply to us today? And so that's one of the reasons why I really like this one, and the one that I would recommend you getting, because I think it's very helpful in that way. Our next commentaries are they're really similar in how they're set up. So I wanted to show you them. There's the Africa Bible Commentary, a 1-volume commentary written by 70 different African scholars. And then the South Asia Bible Commentary, a 1-volume commentary on the whole Bible, and kind of from scholars from South Asia. And so we're just going to really take a look here at the South Asia commentary, and again go back to the New Testament. So actually there's this article right here. So this one has articles where the application, the NIV application commentary didn't, but this one has an article on the intertestamental period, and then you get to the New Testament, and you have the introduction to the New Testament. So just giving you some insight into that, introduction to the Gospels. And then you get to Matthew with the introduction, origin, and authorship, theology of Matthew, structure of the Gospels. This will also hear relevance to South Asia. And so you kind of get a perspective from other Christians in the world, like, this is how they're seeing things. This is how they're applying it. So that's one of the things I think is benefit for this. But I also just like the way these are set up. So again, supplement to scripture. The scripture isn't in here. So commentary. But this, and again, it's broken up into sections. So as you're reading the scripture and you have a question, you can turn here, and it's not necessarily going to deal with individual verses, but more with sections and paragraphs, and you can read that and get an idea of what is being talked about. And then this too has little articles in it to kind of give you further information for your study. So this one and the Africa Bible Commentary are set up really similar. I like the way that they're set up, and so these would be a great choice to make as well. The last 1-volume commentary we'll look at is an older commentary. I got this used off Amazon. It's the International Bible Commentary with the NIV. So it's based on the NIV text. And again, we'll open up here to part 3, the general articles of the New Testament. So one of the things about this commentary is I think it's a little bit more academic, because you have these articles, and there's quite a few of them. There is like 120 pages of articles. So you can see the authority of the New Testament, religious background pagan, the religious background for the Jews, the development of doctrine, the fourfold gospel, letters of Paul, and the New Testament use of Old Testament. So there's just a lot in there. And as I said, it's about 120 pages or so of articles. And then you get to the actual commentary. Again, you have the introduction. Again, it's not very long. The ESV Study Bible had a longer introduction, but here it is. And then it gets right into the commentary. And again, it takes a block of scripture. And so as you're reading it, you can come and like, oh, this is what this is saying. But I think this one is a little bit more, as I said, academic. So it may not be the best for you. I really like it. I like the way it's set up. And so, again, if you may be wanting a deeper, more academic look at scripture, this may suit your needs better. And so you can still find these on Amazon. And so that's just, that is another option to consider.
I hope this video gave you an idea of what I'm talking about when I talk about a study Bible or a one-volume commentary. I hope it also kind of gave you an idea what to look for when you look for a study Bible or you look for a commentary. And I hope it also helped you understand, just at least at a beginning level, of how you would use that within your own Bible reading, within your own Bible study. Hey, I am interested in us knowing and understanding and applying scripture to our lives. So I want to give you resources to help you in this endeavor. And resources, again, I think this is so important for you to hear me say. I want you to have the resources you need to make sure that I'm telling you the truth, that I'm teaching what Scripture really says. I want you to be able to double check me, because I need it. I need sometimes that correction, like, oh, this maybe you should consider this. So here are some resources to help you as you study the Bible, to help you discern what is true from what is false, and to build your own understanding of what God is communicating to us through Scripture.